Lunar Light Entertainment proudly presents the 100-Day Magical Challenge. Pathways of the Magi.
Greetings and salutations, wanderer, wayfarer, wizard, and warrior alike. You are listening to the podcast for the 100-Day Magical Challenge, Pathways of the Magi. I am your host for the hour, Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, Frater Francis Lunas Aristeus of the OTA. I'm broadcasting to you from the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Peking. Whoever you are, wherever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission, welcome. I'd like to remind you, listener, that the time is now to join the challenge. You can go to the Lunar Light Entertainment Discord, where you'll find more behind the scenes information and have the ability to speak with us directly one-to-one. Also, check us out on www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Today's recording is going to be for the elemental grade of Earth and the neophyte. So with no further ado, let's get into it. The information I will be sharing with you is a brief reading from Donald Michael Kraig's Modern Magic. This is lesson 3, part 1 from 11 lessons on High Magick. So take a deep breath, hold it for a moment, and relax. Find yourself a comfortable place to sit and listen. Throw on your headsets, as that is the best way to experience the transmission. Get yourself a hot or cool beverage, whatever you like. Get yourself one of your favorite beverages, and let's go ahead and begin. Part 1 says, have you ever heard of a Sunday morning Christian? A Sunday morning Christian is a person who goes to church every Sunday just to be seen and sings very loudly in order to be heard and puts large bills in the collection plate. Then in business, he does everything possible to steal and cheat. He lies about his friends and enemies, and he cheats on his wife. Yes, he puts on a big show of being a Christian for a few hours every Sunday, but when it comes to living every minute of the day after the manner of Jesus, he fails miserably. So what does this have to do with ceremonial magic? Like the Sunday morning Christians who think that Christianity is something you do once a week, most people think that magic is something you do once a week. This is totally wrong. Magic is not something that you do. Magic is something that you are. To really be a magician means that your mindset is totally centered around magic. This means that no matter what you are doing, thinking, or saying, there is always in your mind the idea of how everything is magically related. Thus, if you're talking politics, you might be thinking about how a politician is able to convince people to vote for him or her without ever mentioning a political platform. Certainly, this is a powerful form of magic, convincing people to do things for no apparent reason. When you're cooking, you might be thinking about how the element of fire affects meats, their byproducts, and vegetables. When magic becomes your way of thinking, acting, and breathing, then you will be a magician. This brings us back for a moment to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. There were really 6 degrees in the Order of the Golden Dawn, which, if you did well, would allow you to seek entrance into the inner order, the RR et AC. If you have studied a bit about the Golden Dawn, this may shock you. The Golden Dawn was never a magical order. The inner order, the Rosea Rabia at Aurea Crucis, or Red Rose and Gold Cross, did practice magic. The outer order, the Golden Dawn, did not. The Golden Dawn did have several purposes in the order's overall scheme, however. It allowed people to meet and learn and to have confidence in each other. It allowed people to learn the theories and philosophies which would later allow them to do practical magic. But for the purpose of this course, the most important aspects are that it initiated people and got them to attuned to the 4 magical elements. Obviously, I cannot initiate you via a book. No one can. But what is the need and purpose of initiation anyway? Initiation has 2 aspects, practical and mystical. On the practical level, initiation gives you nothing. Rather, it allows you to begin to do a certain prescribed system of work. As an example, a person initiated into the neophyte degree of the Golden Dawn was to begin learning the Hebrew alphabet and the symbols of the planets and the zodiac, and he or she was also to begin doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. The word initiation comes from a Latin root, which actually means to begin. So, initiation, in a sense, is a beginning, a jumping off point. The mystical aspects of initiation are a different story. Imagine a private club which you want to enter. You knock on the door, and the bouncer, who doesn't recognize you, sends you away. Then a person who knows both you and the bouncer comes up and introduces you to each other. From that time on, you are a welcome guest in the private club. In this little story, the introduction to a higher, stronger force in the form of a bouncer was your initiation. In reality, the mystical aspects of initiation not only introduce you to higher powers, or if you prefer, your higher self, but it also causes spiritual, emotional, and physical effects within you which allow you to be easily recognized in the future by higher powers. There is another way to cause the interchanges which will allow this recognition. You could go up to the bouncer day after day, week after week, month after month, if need be, talk to the bouncer, bring him presents and friendship until finally, without a third party introduction, the bouncer allows you into the club. The way that this can be done is through performing the work of this course. In the Golden Dawn, an initiation into the neophyte grade gave you membership, companionship with others of a like mind, and allowed both you and other members of the order to see how well you could work together. Since you are not becoming a member of any order, that particular initiation is not vital to your advancement. The next four grades of the order tried to balance you with the four magical elements, and in fact were sometimes referred to as the elementary grades. We will be learning about the magical elements, earth, air, fire, and water, one at a time and in their proper order. The neophyte grade of the Golden Dawn was not related to the elements. In fact, it was not considered to be the first degree of the order. It was called the 0 at 0 grade. The next grade, known as the first degree, or 1 at 10, first degree equals the 10th Sephiroth, was associated with the element of earth. So it is there we must now begin. We must become in total harmony with this earth element. Each of the four magical elements are representative of alternate aspects of the qualities of temperature and humidity. Since we are working with the element of earth, let's examine its qualities. Obviously, earth is not wet unless filled with water, nor is it warm unless heated by fire. Therefore, we can say that the element of earth has the qualities of being dry and cool, or that's its greater tendency. The next step is to learn how to become aware of and in control of this element in our day-to-day lives. Exercise 1. Make a list of things which have the combined qualities of dryness and coolness. However, don't do this just out of your head. Rather, make a list of earth things that you see each day. Practice this for 1 week. Be sure to record the results each day in your magical diary. Exercise 2. Find a place filled with nature, such as a field or park. Wear as little clothing as you can. If possible, nudity is best. Sit or lie on the ground so that as much of your skin as possible is touching the ground. This is especially easy for women as they can simply wear a flowing skirt with less on underneath and sit on the ground with the skirt spread out and make contact. Of course, do this in a safe location where you can have access to earth that is of a higher quality. You wouldn't want to do this in any location where there may be something that would interfere with this practice. Make sure the skin is against the earth. Spend some time contemplating, feeling the coolness and dryness of the earth. You should do this for at least a few times within a week. If you happen to find a grassy spot or an area which has recently been watered, you may have a feeling that the magical element of earth has wetness in it. There are two responses to this. First, temperature and humidity are relative. It may be damp compared to a desert sand, but it is dry compared to ocean water. At least this shows that you are thinking about the elements. However, the real answer to the idea that Earth has some wetness to it is that you are mistaking the physical soil for the magical archetypal Earth element. A physical representation always lacks the purity of the archetype. We're looking to connect directly with the archetype of the Earth energy. Since we are physical and learn through our senses, we move in our minds from the physical, imperfect object to the pure archetypal state. It is this way that we gain knowledge of the magical elements. Exercise 3. Spend a period of up to 3 minutes, no more, once a day, imagining that you are the element Earth. Feel the heaviness, the slowness, the coolness, and dryness of the Earth. Feel the way you can absorb the pains and problems of the world. However, do not actually do so. Become Earth. Do this exercise for about a week before moving on to the next exercise. You can see from this perspective that if you do each exercise for about a week, so far, you've already spent about 3 weeks in contemplation of the earth element. The next exercise is the fourth and final exercise, and we'll round it all off to about a month of practice. Exercise 4. Once you have learned to be earth, the next step is to control the element earth. Take a moment to imagine yourself as earth. Bring the feeling from the previous exercises into your consciousness. Next, hold your hands about 9 to 12 inches apart in front of you, palms facing each other. Imagine a bottle or a box between your hands. Visualize one on the astral. Now, as you exhale, visualize all of the earth element which is in you going out with your breath and into the container between your hands. 3 to 5 breaths should be enough to fill it up. Then, with 3 breaths, inhale it back into you and go back to normal consciousness. Now, testing this exercise will allow you to see whether or not you really have become not only in harmony with the magical element earth, but also see if you're able to control the element. The next time that you feel lightheaded, giddy, unstable, not able to do your work, etc., form the earth container as described in exercise 4. Then, once the container of earth has been formed, with one big inhalation, draw the contents of the container back into you. Within a few minutes, you should feel stable and grounded. Additionally, the next time you feel bloated, overweight, slowed down, etc., again, form the container of earth. Only this time, visualize a large hole in the ground and drop the container into that hole. Quickly close the hole, and you should feel lighter within a few minutes. But it may be necessary to repeat this exercise up to 5 times to really feel light, but not airheaded. You're looking for a light, airy, a light feeling of being alleviated of a burden, which should bring back to you greater energy. When you have succeeded at both parts of this test, you will have mastered the element of earth. However, if you do not succeed at it within a few days or weeks, don't worry about it. Just keep practicing. Remember, initiation is a beginning, not an ending. Continue with your studies in the magical course, but do not stop and wait until you've perfected the mastery of each element. Be sure to record the results of your experiments, whether they be good, bad, or indifferent, in your magical diary. This will be the end of part 1 of this recording. I remind you, I am your host, Frater Francis Lunas Aristeus, Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Now is the time, neophyte, to begin your initiation. Go to Lunar Light Entertainment Discord and join with us in the conversation. Don't forget to check me out on www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday and put a little something in the tip jar. That'll help keep the lead in the pencil and the pep in my step so that I can keep making wonderful videos for you. This program is a part of the 100-day Magical Challenge Pathways of the Magi and was presented for the elemental grade of Earth at the neophyte level. Thank you for watching and participating in the 100-day Magical Challenge. It is day 10 now in the magical practice. The challenge is to learn about or practice knowledge related to magic every day for 100 consecutive days. Please like the video and come back and leave a comment and let me know how you're doing with your progress as we journey into the abodes of the future. Aspirant, do good magic.